Hello. My name is Professor Chandrasekhar Dhamande. I am Assistant Professor at SIRT College, BHOPAL. I am a teacher of English communication, and in this video I am going to talk about barriers to communication. Dear students, whenever someone communicates, they face lots of barriers, and these barriers make your communication difficult and you cannot deliver what exactly you want. So it's very important to understand the concept of barriers. Once you understand them, you would be able to overcome these barriers very easily. So in any language, in any kind of communication, we have to take care of some of the etiquettes of speaking and communication. And dealing with the barrier is one of the important traits that you must follow. So let's start this video by talking about one of the biggest challenges of communication. We know that many people are good at language, but they are not able to communicate their thoughts properly. Whenever we see in the society, communication proves to be a very important skill in one's persona, and developing it is very important. To understand the barriers and how to overcome these barriers is very important. In our day-to-day life, communication plays a very important role, especially in the professional one. In professional life, we have to attend meetings, we have to attend our viewpoints, we have to give our viewpoints, and we have to listen to others what our associates want us to do or how to want to communicate with us. So all these things are very important in our lives, and that's why it's very important to understand the concept of barrier and must not forget how to overcome these barriers. So let's start. As far as barriers are concerned, there are many types of barriers. We are discussing some of the most important barriers to understand. The first one is physical barrier. Now, if we want to communicate with someone, what do we need? We need a peaceful environment to communicate. If you are sitting in a room, then there should be proper lighting in that particular room so that people are visible to each other. They can see each other's facial expressions properly. If there is no proper lighting, then definitely it would be difficult to communicate with people, because facial expression plays a very important role. Second important thing is the noise. If the place where you are communicating there is a lot of noise, then it would be difficult for the people to communicate with each other. They would not be able to listen properly, and if you can't listen properly, definitely you can't communicate properly. Second thing is the distance. If two people are talking and there is a more distance than usual, then definitely you cannot send your voice to the listener's ears. So distance plays a very important role. And the next one is poor infrastructure. You guys are students, you know what is the importance of infrastructure. Suppose you are sitting in a class where benches are not properly, they are making sounds and they are moving here and there, so your attention would be diverted to that particular infrastructure. So that's why a proper infrastructure is also needed to make your communication better. So the first point is physical barrier. Come to the next, and that is language barriers. I am an English communicator. I'm a teacher who teach English communication. So I understand the importance of languages. We know that English is very important language, and when it has become the language of our career, when it has become the language of our profession, wherever we go, we must communicate in English. But the people whom we are communicating cannot be able to understand this language. Not only this language, today the whole world is globalized, and you may have to communicate with the person whose mother tongue is any other language. In India itself, more than 15 official languages are there and hundreds of dialects also present. So what language you are using for communication, it's very important for the person who is listening to you also understand that language. If your languages are different, then definitely communication would definitely be poor. So in this language, one more important point is use of complex words. You see many people who are talking even in Hindi, their vocabulary is so strong that they use jargons, they use idioms, phrases. And the use of idioms and phrases make your communication very difficult to understand for the person who is not well versed with that particular language. So to make this barrier not a hurdle in your way, you need to use simple languages that is easy to understand for everyone. And you must not use the slangs. Slangs are some words that gives you comfort of speaking. When you are speaking, then you have to look at your comfort level as well. If you are not comfortable with the slangs means the words which are used by Gen Z, you know that, what they say to a particular situation. So you make some shortcuts, you make some words which are worth understanding between the same culture of people, but if people are not understanding it, it means you need to improve them. Come to the next, and that is cultural barrier. See, India is a country of various cultures, hundreds of cultures we follow in our country, and when we communicate with the other world, definitely their culture is very different. In this case, what people have, their customs, belief, value, it's very important. Like in our Indian culture, we say namaste, we just fold our hands and we bow down in front of people. But many culture believe that it is not advisable. They have some different style of communicating. So if the culture is different, then definitely the communication come to an halt. So what can we do? We become culturally sensitive to overcome this barrier. We should understand what culture, what custom, what value other people are following. So if we understand their values, their custom, their belief, then definitely we can make our communication better and we can take it to the next level. Come to the next barrier, and that is emotional barrier. If you are talking to someone who is worried, who is angry, who has some other thoughts going on in his mind, he has some personal issues, he is fighting with anxiety and kind of depression, and if the person does not have trust on you, then whatever you say would become impossible to accept by the person. So emotions are an important part of human personality. So it is very important to understand what emotions the person is keeping at the time of communication. So if you believe their trust, if you win their confidence, then you can make the communication better. Come to the next barrier, and that is perceptional barrier. What is this perceptional barrier? People have different viewpoint, people have assumptions. If someone has already thought something different about you and you go and try to communicate and everything goes well, even the person would not be able to communicate with you properly because he has some other assumptions, he has some different viewpoint on some particular thing. So what can we do to overcome this barrier? We can talk to the person, we can try to understand what assumptions are there in his mind, what viewpoint the person is keeping on a particular topic that you are communicating. So if we keep all these assumptions, viewpoints of the person whom we are communicating, then we can definitely make our communication stronger and we can take it to the next level. Come to the next barrier, and that is technological barrier. You are listening to me right now with the help of some technology. If we do not have these gadgets to record this video, to send it to you with the different mediums, then how can I communicate with you? Not possible at all. So technology has become an integral part of our life these days. So if we cannot be friendly with the technology, we would not be able to make our communication better. So in order to make people understand what you are saying, that you should be well versed with technology. If you have lack of technical skills, if you are using outdated tools, then it would be a barrier of your communication. So grow up, try to learn new skills, be friendly with the technical gadgets, use proper tools, update them time to time. If we do so, then we can go to the next level in our communication. Come to the next, and that is attitudinal barrier. People have particular attitude. Okay, for example, if someone is arrogant, if someone is overconfident, if someone has lack of interest in what you are talking here. So develop the interest of people, win their confidence, realize them that overconfidence is not a good thing. And if someone is arrogant, then we need to deal with this attitude as well. If we do so, then of course we can make our communication better and take it to the next level. And the most important thing is lack of feedback. If you are trying to communicate with someone, suppose if you are writing or emailing someone and you don't get feedback in written, so how would you understand that whether your communication is going well in the right direction or not? So develop the habit of getting feedback. People pay a lot of attention on getting feedback. These days we are dealing with the technologies, and at the end of any smaller service there is a option of feedback. Even if you are ordering something online food, then at the end they ask for your feedback. How was our service and how was everything? So develop these habits and work on communication skills, because soft skill, communication skills, English language is something that is an essential part of your progress. So if you want to develop yourself professionally, you need to develop a right kind of communication. Good luck for your exams and keep watching this channel. Thank you very much.